What's up everybody, we're back with another video. Third time is the charm. Merry Christmas. I hope you all are having a wonderful day, spending it with your loved ones if you can. And if you can't, I'm bringing you this video so you guys can kind of just have something to do. I already filmed this video, but when I filmed it I wasn't wearing my Christmas jumper, and I went ahead and I got an early Christmas present from my mum, who I told us we were going to refilm the intro with the Christmas jumper, so she gave me my Christmas present a couple of days early, and here it is. So what we're going to do in today's video is we're just going to go ahead and do some water changes. I am behind on my water changes, and essentially I do my water changes on Sundays, and today is a Thursday, so I'm a few days late, and I quickly wanted to do just a large water change, just a water change in all my aquariums, and so I'm going to bring you along for the show and kind of just give you an update on what's going on. Now you will notice that after this I'm going to be back talking to you, and I won't be wearing a Christmas jumper, but that is because I have filmed this over a week ago and I can't really remember what I said, and it's like 5 minutes of me talking, so I'm just going to have to throw you into that without the Christmas jumper, but hey ho. Now I don't have a Christmas hat on, but I can Photoshop one in. So let's see how that goes, huh? Yeah. Alrighty. I'll catch up with you guys in a bit. See you in a sec. Alrighty, so we've gone ahead and fed all the fish. They're doing just fine. If you guys noticed in the flower horn tank, the big flower horn, King Leon, the female is missing. Unfortunately, she wasn't doing too well in health. She was sick for about a month. Initially, she had like a bulb growing on her head, which we managed to heal up, and then she was fine. She was eating, and then all of a sudden, she kind of just stopped eating, and then she was lying on her side, and she started to get better. In fact, I came out one day and she was doing completely fine. She was swimming about, and then I came back a few hours later and she was gone. She was completely gone. So I don't really know what was happening, if she had an internal parasite, but we were treating her with basic dewormer. We were also doing water changes as much as we could. We were making sure if it was just something to do with her swim bladder, we were just giving her some time to recover. And she was just constantly, there was always something wrong with her, and unfortunately all caught up in the end. So yeah, it was a shame. We also don't know what age we got her at, because we got her from a store and she was already fully grown. I never actually bothered to ask, so I don't know if it was just old age that got to her, or if there was something seriously wrong with her that I just couldn't figure out. I'm not really an expert in flower horns. I love keeping them, but things do happen like this, and unfortunately, you know, you have to just live with the consequences. Alright. Sorry, I'm basically trying to do my water change at the same time as talking to you lot, but the issue with this tank is, I say this tank, the 180, is the fact that I've got my custom DIY, my custom overflow system. Yeah, so basically, like I was saying, I have a custom overflow system, which kind of takes away my attention sometimes, because as the water level in the tank starts to drop and it gets closer to the top of the overflow, the rate of flow decreases in the overflow, and basically I have to switch off the pump, otherwise the pump will be running dry essentially and I'll damage the pump. So it's just getting that water level right, because obviously when I stop draining the pump, the return flow then fills up the sump, or whatever you want to call it. So I just got to make sure that that doesn't overflow, but then the water doesn't run dry. It's not too difficult, but obviously it is distracting when I'm trying to talk to you lot about what's going on. So anyways, yeah, back to the story. So unfortunately, we couldn't save her. Like I said, I didn't know how old she was. I didn't really know what was actually going on, but I did try to treat her. Usually you can tell when a fish has internal parasites. You can look at their waist, and if their waist is clear, it tends to mean that there's something inside. But obviously, when the fish stopped eating, it actually didn't really make that much waste, and so I couldn't really see anything, and I really couldn't figure out what was going on, so I was trying to treat it, and I couldn't. Also, King Leon, my other flower horn, the one with the big nuchal hub, he's got a bum eye at the moment, which we're trying to get sorted. It's a bit cloudy. It started to clear up a bit, but it will take a while, and hopefully you'll be able to see out of it again. He can sort of see. Beforehand, when it was really bad, because he had a swollen eye, we managed to reduce the swelling, but as the eye swells, it damages the cornea, or the film, whatever the fish part of that eye, the lens, I guess. And so that started to go down, and the eye started to heal up, but now he's actually able to see food out of that eye before he couldn't, so it was difficult to feed him. Even now, like, he can't fully see the food, but he can kind of guess that what he's looking at is food. But that just might be because he thinks everything is food. So basically, the plan I had for my female flower horn was to actually put it in the 180 and free up some space in the 4-foot aquarium. But unfortunately, since she's kind of passed away, we're sort of left with the empty space, but one less fish in here. I was supposed to get a fish. I was supposed to get it at the end of September, but because of COVID, it's taken a long time for them to import the fish into the country. It's only come in a couple weeks back, but now we're still waiting on paperwork to come through for that fish. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you better be excited. But now, obviously, because of the Christmas period and all that good stuff, it's probably going to come after New Year's. You guys are going to be watching this on Christmas. Today is the 17th of December, so I'm filming this a week in advance. So you guys are going to be able to watch this when it finally comes out, and it'll be a lot closer than when I reveal what the fish I get is, obviously. But I'm super excited, and we're probably going to end up, not immediately, we're going to quarantine it in the small tank down here. What we're going to do is we're going to move around some fish, which you'll see in another video. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to keep King Leon where he is for the time being, but eventually what's going to happen is he's going to be transferred over to the cube tank. Or if the fish that I get is big enough and can go in with him and it won't be an issue, then I'll do that. But obviously it is an expensive fish, so I don't want King Leon to go ahead and fool around with him too much, or her. So we'll kind of see how King Leon is with this fish, and from there we're going to move fish around. But it's going to be exciting, so I hope you guys are going to enjoy that. I'm just going to go ahead and quickly show you how much I've drained so far from this tank and move on to the next tank. So there we go. We've drained a bit of water out of the tank, not too much, because I am going to go ahead on Sunday and do another water change, because Sunday is my allocated water change for all these tanks. But it's just because I did fall behind. I didn't want to go too long and foul out my water quality. But just to show you guys, my nitrates are a bit high, as you can see from there. My nitrates are my nitrite is low. But again, that was really badly done. Anyways, so this is why you don't want to go too long without doing water changes, because the toxics, the waste pretty much builds up in your aquariums, and it isn't that great for your fish. The good thing is I have not fed the fish that much. I've literally, since I didn't do my water change on Sunday, I fed them one other time other than today, and that wasn't too much. That was just a few pellets to keep them going. I was actually supposed to be doing my water change yesterday, but just stuff got busy, and it's unfortunate. That's why you always try and keep your water changes designated days, but that is what happens. I mean, this goes to show that obviously I've got my extra filtration up there, I've got my filtration here that's got a whole lot of filter capacity, so is this, and that pretty much just goes to show that I can kind of leave this tank for 2 weeks if I need to. If I absolutely need to, I can leave this tank for 2 weeks and not have to worry about an ammonia spike, because I've also got the lava rock in here, you know, and I've got the plants taking out all the nitrates, as well as more lava rock down there. So there is a lot of filtering capacity to try and keep those water parameters as clean as possible. But like I said, leaving it too long isn't the solution. And he's got some weird little red spots on his face, so I don't know if that's because of the water quality, or because when he's eating he goes behind here and sticks his face in this pile of rock, because like that side is completely fine. Also, just to let you guys know, when your ammonia gets really high, which it shouldn't ever do, your fish will have red like red gills and red fins and stuff like that, because they're getting ammonia burns. But as you can see, none of my fish actually have this, which means that my ammonia is completely fine. It was literally just my nitrates that was too high. But yeah, we've gone ahead and we're taking that out now. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and move on to doing a small water change on King Leon's tank. Let me go ahead and get the siphon. So obviously this tank now has one less fish, which means that the water quality in this tank shouldn't go down as fast. But again, like I've said, doing a water change every week is always good practice. And I've said this before, I like doing water changes. It makes me enjoy my hobby a lot more than just staring at the fish. I feel like after I've done some hard work, and I can go ahead and appreciate the hard work I've done, and you know, that's just probably like the best feeling for me when it comes to having all my fish. So for this tank, I've kept the water level low, because I used to have a divider in here, and the divider wasn't terribly tall, and so just to prevent the fish from jumping over the divider, I kept the water level low. Now that King Leon is by himself, I'm going to go ahead and fill this back up to what it is. He doesn't really jump out of the aquarium, his head pretty much prevents him from being able to jump out because of all the fat that's stored in there. It pretty much messes up with his buoyancy, so he can't go up to the water too much. It takes too much effort for him to do that, so I'm not worried about him jumping out. But I do have some plans for my female flower horn, Kevin, who I will show you in a second. Actually, you've probably already seen her. My female flower horn, Kevin, who you just seen when I fed, she actually lays eggs. I've tried to breed her with the other small flower horn, and that hasn't happened. I want to try it with this guy when she gets bigger. But I also want to see if she can breed with the Vieja. I'm not too sure if she can, but she might be able to breed with my Vieja, and I've got the small ones down there, so I'm going to see if these guys get along. And if they do, great, I can go ahead and breed them. I just want to see what the babies would look like. If that does happen, it'll just be nice. Obviously, if I can get a flower horn couple to go, that's even better, because then I can actually groom the flower horns and have some really nice flower horns, which I might be able to sell on, and keep some. You know, it'd just be great to expand that. But again, it's really difficult because from what I've heard, flower horn exporters from like Thailand, I think it's mainly Thailand, I don't really know where else they export from, but they're really secretive about their fish, and so what they do is they sterilize the males, so you have a really low probability of having a fertile male in the first place. Females, I don't know if the eggs come out sterile or not, but I think it's mainly the males that they go ahead and sterilize. Because obviously Kevin has laid eggs, so I'm assuming that the eggs that she's laid are fertile. So we're now in the process of filling all the tanks back up. I went ahead and did this tank first. The water is a bit cloudy, and that is because I went ahead and I washed my sponges that you can find in the canister filter. I had not done that for goodness knows how long, and the water was absolutely ugh. It was like sewage. It was horrible. I went ahead and did the same thing for this filter, and now you can see that there's like some of the gunk that's come out of the filter. I went ahead and washed the pads that are in there as well, and pretty much now they're filling this tank back up. So let's go ahead and quickly take a look at the water, and that is the water that you find when you wash your canister filters after so long. And in fact, that was from this canister filter. This canister filter was a heck of a lot cleaner than that. Well, it's behind, but the water there is pretty much brown, but the water that came out of the first tank, the first canister filter, was pretty much just jet black. You could pretty much, like, you know, write a whole letter. That's how inky, yucky black it was. It was horrible. But now this is gonna go ahead and be clean, and I'm gonna go ahead and pretty much put this on a rotus every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks. I'm gonna go ahead and clean these filter pads out so that this doesn't happen again. Like I said, I'm learning in this hobby, so I've also got filter pads in there that I go ahead and clean. In fact, I've been doing that filter pad way more than I'd be doing the rest of them. I'd be doing that like every 2 weeks. I go ahead and change that out. That's because I can visually see when that filter pad gets dirty. So now we got a long way to go to fill this tank back up to full, but as that happens, then obviously that'll be fine. Again, all this schmutz, rubbish, whatever you want to call it, gunk that's in the tank will go ahead and be filtered out. It's going to be pushed that away where all the inlets are, and it's going to either go through the canister filter, through the big filter, or through the planted filter up top, the overhead filter. But yeah, we've done a full wipe, and like I was saying, so I'm learning, and I've pretty much found out that canister filters are great for helping keeping your aquariums clean and filtering tons and tons of water out per hour. Literally, you know, this filter down here can filter out 1,400 liters an hour. It's what it's rated for. Even if you divide that in half, 700 liters an hour, you're talking about 700 liters is 700 kilograms worth of water. You're talking about nearly a ton of water an hour. So, you know, when I say tons and tons of water, I mean tons and tons of water. But yeah, so like I said, I was learning about what happens when you don't clean out the filter pads in your canister filters, and you basically get nitrate factories because all that gunk is still in your system. It's just not in your tank. And so I made an effort to go ahead and clean these out. And yeah, it wasn't too difficult. It's probably going to be more of a pain in the rear end when the winter actually kicks in, because what's happened is the temperature's actually gone back up again. It's actually really nice and sunny outside. Don't know how well you can see that. Yeah, so it's kind of like a very early spring day. It's quite warm. Like, I can go out in a hoodie and be completely fine. And yeah, so this tank is going to slowly clear up. That tank needs to be filled up. That tank needs to be filled up. This tank needs to be filled up. So that will probably take, you know, like another half an hour. But that is pretty much it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Like I said, it was a filler. I hope you lot are enjoying your Christmas, your New Year's. And despite COVID, everybody is able to see their family, hopefully. So hope you guys enjoy your days. And I hope you guys enjoyed my video. If you did, please like and subscribe to my channel to let me know that you guys are enjoying my videos. I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.